This is Peter Thiel's company. What are you making of this? It sounds like just gangbusters here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a company where you have a couple of trends working in its favor. One is, and we heard it mentioned earlier, AI. Palantir is marketing itself as like essentially a way for big companies to incorporate artificial intelligence in their workflows. That's obviously something lots and lots of companies are spending huge sums of money on. The other thing is this is a big defense contractor, and it happens to be, and you mentioned Peter Thiel's name earlier. He's co-founder of the company. It is a company that is very close to the Trump administration. So it's both a company that is sort of well positioned in its government business, at least in the U.S., and well positioned in its commercial business. You're seeing revenue grow. Now, I think what you see skeptical analysts say, and this is a company where there's a bit of a divide between how professionals see it and the kind of masses, who are trading, on platforms like Robinhood. I think a lot of analysts feel like this stock is wildly overvalued. You're talking about, even at $4 billion of annual revenue, it's not a huge amount of money for a company that's worth like $500 billion in terms of market cap. But for now, the market likes it. This has become, it's almost a cliche to say, but it is a meme stock. It is both a company that has a real business, but also a company that has this very, very, dedicated following.
Why would you call it a meme stock? I mean, you kind of answered the question right then. You said it's a dedicated following, but this is a company that has an increase in revenue of 63%. Analysts on average estimated a $1.09 billion in terms of revenue increase, went to $1.18 billion. Average projection of $1.19 billion for sales for the current quarter. That the company says it'll come in at $1.33 billion. There's some real numbers here that I think critics would say, okay, well, meme stocks don't have those kind of fundamentals.
Yeah, I mean, it's different from like, haha, this is totally a joke. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that the demand for this stock is happening at the retail level, just like Tesla Motors, where you see, that, which is another stock with similarly like very elevated price. The price to earnings ratio on this company is huge. It's really, really high.
It's 691. The forward PE, is 320. I mean, like what you said before about how much in revenues and what the market cap is, it's going to take a lot of growth over and over
just for
again
context,
for multiple quarters.
NVIDIA's PE ratio is 60.57.
Yeah, so even for a tech company, even for a high growth tech company, we're talking about a very, very, very expensive stock. And that, that stock either reflects the kind of new dynamics that certain equities are trading at, where if there's demand on social media, and the Bloomberg story that was published gets into some of this, investor Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir, is this kind of almost like a cult-like figure, a cultural figure, certainly. Shareholders call him Daddy Karp, and he has these antics, right? Like he is this kind of larger than life figure. There is also a business story. It's not like it's totally just hot air, right? The idea is that artificial intelligence is becoming more and more important. Palantir is positioned well.
What exactly do they do, Max?
They build software that essentially makes it easier for companies to organize their data, and make decisions. Now, the thing most people have probably heard most about with Palantir is the military and intelligence agencies incorporated software in their sort of in like searching out terrorist cells and that sort of thing. Now, there's a lot of debate about just how sort of automated this is, how important it is, but it is a piece of software that is being used in more and more big companies to handle data. And that's a valuable thing, because like once the software is being used by a given entity, it's kind of hard to take it out. It's this kind of same dynamics that protect lots of sellers of enterprise software.
Max, this is a company that was founded back in 2004. Facebook was also founded back in 2004. I think a lot of people would say this was kind of a late bloomer. For a lot of years, it kind of just like got by until then suddenly it was on everybody's radar. Why was it so slow to grow?
Well, I mean, it took them a very long time to sort of figure out a product. And the company was founded essentially with the idea of providing intelligence gathering software to the military, adapting some of the security tools that Peter Thiel and his co-founders had used at PayPal, and applying it in other areas. That was the pitch. It took them a really long time to find a customer base. But once they did, and as they've been able to kind of build a brand and take the company public and benefit from some of these trends that I'm talking about, these cultural trends, it's gone very, very well.
You know, it's interesting too. And I'm looking at the FA page on the Bloomberg. So at the end of last year, about almost 55% of their revenue was government, and then about 45% was commercial. And I'm just thinking, like, who they compete with, right? Like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and then some of these data specialist companies out there, whether it's Snowflake and others. I mean, is there somebody who could ultimately, you know, take over their business? I mean, or do they really own their niche?
No, there are other players in this space. I think a lot of those competitors, companies are buying both Palantir and Microsoft. It's not like you're buying one at the expense of the other. I mean, you know, Palantir is, I think, very recently got into some litigation with a copycat product. There are other companies that are attempting to offer sort of similar kind of like data integration services. We've also seen critics over the years sort of say, like, this is actually a consulting company kind of masquerading as a software. There's a lot of debate over just how much it is like a product company and should be valued that way. Although, of course, like on Wall Street, or sorry, on the stock market, that debate is long gone because it's being traded, you know, at multiples that are much higher than even some very, very successful software companies.
How big of a deal is it that this administration has or members of this administration have been aligned, at least philosophily, with leadership at Palantir?
I mean, if you listen to Palantir, they're going to say, no, this is not political, that the government is just choosing our product because it's the best product. I think if you look historically, the last Trump administration was an incredible time for Palantir. The company grew a lot. It managed to go public, won lots and lots of contracts, including taking some contracts from some other big tech companies. And if you look at what has happened over the past, whatever it is, 10 months of the Trump administration, it's great for Palantir. You had this obviously the Doge effort, we haven't heard much about it, but like the idea of building these databases that are better going to integrate information across different agencies, that is like right up Palantir's alley. And you know, you're seeing Alex Karp show up at the White House, show up at these dinners. They are punching above their weight in terms of influence.